Greetings, people. William Kurk here with Synth Sounds Of, and today we have a special episode where we're going to cover an artist that some of you may have heard of or at least are familiar with. And to be quite honest, or frank, should I say, we're going to cover Frank Ocean.
Round your city, round the clock. A tornado flew around my room before you came. Excuse the mess it made. We'll run to the future, shining like diamonds in a rocket.
Frank Ocean has collaborated with a plethora of artists over the years, including Kanye West, Jay-Z, Jasmine Sullivan, just to name a few. But Frank Ocean's collaborations in his own works have been pretty diverse as well, including Pharrell Williams, Malay, and even bringing in film composer John Bryan. And with all these collaborations swirling about in the mind, in the body, in the heart of Frank Ocean are layers of textures that we're gonna touch on, because even in a perfect world, when we have the most amount of time, we couldn't touch on all of them, but we'll touch on a few of them today. So before we go synth crazy over here, we first gotta address that Frank Ocean not only is an owner of the Wurlitzer, but he uses the Wurlitzer to pivot a lot of his ideas from. So we don't have our Wurlitzer with us today because it's somewhere in the universe, either in the shop or maybe Joe has it, so I heard. However, we do have the Arturia V Collection Whirly, which affectionately is named the Whirly V2.
How little you matter until you're all alone in the middle of Arkansas.
Another keyboard commonly used by Frank, obviously in the same family of the keyboard series, is the Fender Rhodes. Now, we don't have a Fender Rhodes, but we do have the Arturia V series, which does feature the Stage 73V.
Have gone to college and gotten hooked on drugs, marijuana, and alcohol. Listen, stop trying to be somebody else.
Aside from Frank Ocean's use of keyboards like the Rhodes and the Wurlitzer to write and to produce, he uses the Prophet 6. Now, the Prophet 6 is a reissue of the classic Prophet 5 and definitely comes at a much cheaper price point. But you can use the Arturia Prophet V, which of course, easier to carry. You can do more stuff with it maybe, because you can do computer stuff with it too. Go on America Online, MySpace, Netscape, and you can still be playing your cool keyboard sounds at the same time. So for this sound, we're gonna use two saw waves, which one of them is gonna be slightly detuned. So the low pass filter, we have the cutoff situated just a little bit before midnight. Now, if you got Cinderella out, you may wanna get her home. Get that Uber ready, because that means, you know, there's the filter envelope, which we have it situated where it opens and it waves, much like an ocean. As you notice, it does open up and it gives us a wave effect that brings it more character, more color, and it also makes you feel better as a human being.
since I've been thinking about the.
So sticking with the Prophet 6, we're gonna go to another song from the Blonde album entitled Nights. So one of the characteristics of this song that you'll notice is the gliding effect of the synthesizer that occurs within the middle or the chorus part of the song. Now, you could use the glide option here, but for this example, I'm actually using the pitch wheel option, which is tuned a whole octave so that I can get that full octave effect. Makes the sliding and the gliding more interactive and more controllable. We've also taken our oscillators and we detuned it just a little bit on the second oscillator, and then we go to our low pass filter, open it up a bit, turned up the cutoff so that it gives it some more resonance on the high end and makes it more aggressive, makes it more present. And we bypass our filter envelope section. So we are gonna give our filter envelope a break for now. So moving on from the Prophet 6, we're gonna turn our attention to the Juno VI, which is the Baby Shark version of the Juno 106. It's the next generation of sorts. Definitely not as classic as the 106, which can be heard all over pop music across the universe. Since its initial release, we're gonna use this because it's small and lean, and it's a mean music making machine. The sound has a pad element to it, which gives us that long, drawn out, bedded body of oceanic vibes. So let's remove the chorus. And that's what it sounds like without the chorus. But now we're gonna add that chorus too. And now we got some body to our ocean of sound. Think of this as the mattress. And everything else are the sheets, the comforter, the pillows. You're just hearing the mattress right now. You don't have a bed without a mattress, right? So the LFO actually contributes to the characteristic of the pitch itself. And the envelope also gives us that very subtle open and closing effect. It's almost like a slow moving turnstile or churning butter somewhere in the deep corners of Pennsylvania. So in order to get this sound closer to the recording, we doubled the Juno VI with the CMI-V from the Ulterior, by the way.
Had a good time. 16, how was I supposed to know anything? I let you out.
So this next selection on our Frank Ocean playlist, once upon a time during the Synth Sound series, there was a feature of this keyboard. I think it was called the Moog Model D. That's a soccer mom thing. This is a G thing. Oh yeah, I remember. So Frank Ocean definitely uses a lot of Moog sounds, qualities and such. He uses a Moog Voyager, which, if you're gonna relate it to geek terms, well, think of the Model D like William Shatner, and then think of the Voyager as Picard. And today we're gonna use a Behringer. Hopefully, we're gonna aspire for the same effect, and we're gonna keep it funky. But if you need something that's more convenient within the system of your computer or your setup, then you can always use the Arteria Mini V, which is just as dope. So all of the saw waves are set to 3 different octaves, as you can see. So then we go to our cutoff at around 11 o'clock. And when it's said and done, when you're talking about the bass sound for this song and maybe other songs in history that have this type of sound, it is the ladder filter that gives it its funk.
Shining like diamonds in a rocky world. Rocky world.
So we've reached the shoreline of our Frank Ocean cruise. And there's not enough hours in the day to cover every single thing. However, we've given you some ingredients to work with. So if you want to find out more, check us out at Reverb. And of course, I'm William Kurk, Synth Sounds of. And it's been an oceanic experience surfing the waves of sound with you all. Adieu.